When you hear the words transportation engineer, what do you picture? Probably someone in a hard hat on a bridge, right? Or maybe hunched over a giant blueprint. But the reality? It's a daily balancing act between two totally different worlds, one of precision planning and one of, well, unpredictable chaos.
You see, a transportation engineer's life is pretty much split down the middle. On one hand, you've got the office. This is the digital world of careful design, deep data analysis, and meticulous planning. But then you've got the construction site, a physical, dynamic space where you have to be ready for anything and solve problems on the fly. To really succeed, you have to be a master of both.
So let's start where most engineers do, in the nice, controlled environment of the office. The first half of the day is usually all about building that digital foundation for the physical world. It's a time for structure, for data, and for some serious, deep focus.
And this quote from transportation engineer John Nagangard, it says it all. His day starts super early. He's often the first one in the office. There's no casual sipping coffee and checking emails. Nope. It's straight to the computer to check the calendar, scan messages, and lay out the priorities for the day. It's all about creating a routine to really maximize that focus.
And this right here, this is a perfect example of that systematic thinking. It's an actual color-coded system for managing emails. Red flags mean you answer right now. Blue flags get a 24-hour turnaround, and green flags can wait up to 48 hours. It sounds simple, but it's a super powerful way for engineers to create order out of the constant flood of information.
Once those priorities are set, the real deep work begins. Mornings are spent speaking the language of design, and that means diving into some highly specialized software. You've got tools like AutoCAD and MicroStation to create these incredibly detailed road designs, and then programs like Synchro to analyze traffic flow. This is where a brand new intersection or a massive highway interchange is literally born, pixel by pixel.
Okay, so we've seen the digital blueprint. Now, let's head out into the physical world. Because as the day shifts, so does the entire environment. That quiet focus of the office gets replaced by the noise, the dust, and the very real challenges of the construction site. This is where the plan meets reality.
As project manager Peter Wagner puts it, lunch is often the turning point where situations can once again spin out of control. The afternoon is all about reacting to the real world. And this isn't a bug in the system, this is the job. It's about applying all that expertise to solve problems that you could never, ever predict on a computer screen.
Once you're on site, the engineer's role completely transforms. Suddenly, you're a supervisor, making sure the work is actually following the design specs. You're a quality control expert, testing materials to make sure they're up to snuff. But most importantly, you're a real-time troubleshooter, working with clients and contractors to navigate all those inevitable bumps in the road that happen when you try to build something in the real world.
And here's a little dose of unvarnished reality from an engineer in the field. This just goes to show you that the job isn't just about math and physics. It's about communication, it's about negotiation, and sometimes it's about standing your ground to make sure a project is built correctly and safely. That's a completely different skill set than what you need back in the office.
So, how do you bridge these two incredibly different worlds? Well, being successful isn't just about being good at design or good on site. It's about having a complete toolkit full of both hard skills and soft skills to turn a plan into a finished project.
While the technical knowledge is the foundation, these are the skills that truly build a career. You need analytical skills to interpret data back in the office, for sure, but you need leadership and communication skills to guide a construction team and explain complex details to a client who might not have an engineering background. And strong decision-making, that's absolutely vital when an unexpected problem pops up on site and you need a safe, cost-effective solution like yesterday.
The whole journey starts right after you get that university degree. The very first step is becoming what's called an engineer in training, or an EIT. Think of it as a critical apprenticeship period. You work directly under the supervision of a licensed professional engineer, and you gain all that hands-on experience you need to eventually lead projects yourself.
And that EIT phase? It's just the start of a really structured and rewarding career. In engineering, moving up the ladder isn't just about putting in the hours. It's about hitting key milestones that unlock brand new responsibilities and incredible opportunities.
This timeline really lays out that whole journey. It starts with a bachelor's degree, then you spend about 4 years working as an EIT. Then comes the big one, passing the exam to become a licensed professional engineer, or PE. That credential is what allows you to take final legal responsibility for projects, and it's what opens the door to huge leadership roles like project engineer or manager.
And let's be really clear about why that PE license matters so much.
As one engineer put it, it's essential to avoid being pigeonholed, both in terms of your salary and your responsibilities. Even if you don't plan on stamping designs every single day, the license is your gateway. It signals a super high level of competence, and it's almost always a requirement for any real advancement in the field. And this brings us right back to those two worlds we started with. This philosophy from Peter Wagner is just the perfect summary of an engineer's life. You create routine, structure, and order in the office. That's the control what you can part. You do all that so you're prepared to improvise, adapt, and solve problems on that unpredictable construction site. And that's the make the most of everything else part. Ultimately, transportation engineering is all about shaping the physical world that we all share. It's a career of balancing the digital and the physical, the plan and the reality. Which really leaves us with one final thought. As our needs for smarter, safer, and more sustainable infrastructure just keep growing, what new challenges will these engineers face? And how will their work shape the world of tomorrow?